Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews. Have you ever wondered what games you should sell or you should use? Find out here at Purge Reviews. Find out on our top 10 list what games you cannot miss. Don't forget to subscribe to Purge Reviews.
Okay, let's take a look at what we have here. This is tutorial part 1. We have Sandra and Patrick in this one. Here is Sandra. She has 1 melee dice and 1 white defense and 4 health. He has a white melee and 2 red defense and 4 health. So I will put these here to signify this is Patrick and this is Sandra. I know you can't see that real well. So in the tutorial, you're just using a 10 by 10 grid, which is I'm utilizing one of these squares. We have 3 zombies on the board, or walkers, and 3 supply. And what we're trying to do is simply grab the 3 supply before we die. So what you're going to do on a turn, and I'm going to go through the tutorial really simply. You're going to have this stick. If you sneak, which is a shorter distance, you don't attract zombies. But if you run, you make more noise and you go further, but you attract zombies. On the opposite side is the zombies move, and this is how they will shamble. Now, in the tutorial, all the rules are not in effect. I'm just going to show you what is here. So what you'll do is you do an action phase, then we'll draw from the event deck, then you'll fight, and then you'll do a little bit of cleanup at the end. So I'm going to kind of go through this the way the book does it. So the first thing we're going to do is take the ruler out. Oops, and these are supposed to be here. And you know, these are very precise. I'm not a miniatures game playing, and normally I would have plexiglass over this. But so I'm going to run with this person, which will bring them all the way up here. And then Patrick will sneak, and he'll go all the way up there. Then what we would this one moved by running, so that means that we will shamble, but the shamble is obviously going to be further than that. So the shamble will come up here and touch Sandra, so they will attack. And then what we would do is we would put the kill zone over each zombie, and if it touches a human, it runs to it. And that is not the case for any of these. Okay. I'll draw the event card, and we have the event card here, and the event card says the different aspects that you're going to have: all quiet, low threat, medium threat. That's going to be signified on this little thing that we're going to be keeping track of. Now, when we start this game, for this scenario, we're going to start on low. We're going to start on 4 for low threat. I'm just going to place that there because we're probably not going to be back down here. That way maybe you can see it. So if there's something in the corner that tells you the threat goes up, then you move the threat up. We don't. So we go all quiet and lower threat. For each prone walker, there are none, so we ignore that. On a star, the walker gets up. If there are no prone walkers, add 1 to the threat level. So we would just add 1 to the threat level because there's no walkers, and we set that aside. Next, we'll move any walkers on the board. Now, you only move if the event card told you to, so we're not going to move anything. So we skip that by. We're going to do a melee phase. Now, this is the walker that we're using in this scenario. His melee and his defense are the same. And this is kind of a common rule in the game. If you have 1, you roll 1 die. You have second, you roll 2 extra for a total of 3. If you have 3, you would roll 3, so for a total of 6. So the more the dangerous they come, the more there is. Now, Sandra has a power on her card that says Nimble. At the start of a melee, including Sandra, she may roll, and this is a black die, on a star. She moves out of the base contact at least 1 inch away from the current enemy by the shortest route possible, moving through models if necessary. So we're going to roll the black die. She did not roll, so she has to fight the zombie, and she gets 1 red melee die. So I'm going to roll for Sandra first. Then I will roll for him, and it's a tie. Ties are won by the survivors. So that means we will move the zombie back 1 inch. So the zombie will go right there. And you can tell it's 1 inch because this is 1 inch thick. So that's really nice. And because it was a tie, we won. So the walker was moved back, but no actual damage is assessed. Okay? So then what we will do is do the end of phase. You check for if there's any prone. You would roll the die to see if there's nobody prone. We see if we got the victor conditions. Nope, the 3 are still on there. So we go back to the front. Now, you get 2 actions on your turn, and you can't do the same action twice. In the tutorial, the first run they tell us just to move. In the second, we are going to move this guy here. I don't really have to measure it. I could tell that, that centimeter was fine. And I'm going to try to get over to this guy over here, which I won't be able to sneak, but I will be able to run. So he'll be able to make it all the way there. And that's obviously, you can start to eyeball this. He will shamble up to him. So that will require a fight on that part. So I moved both of them. Oh, this guy only had 1 action. Because there's no zombies or walkers touching him, he can search. So when you search, you just immediately take the counter. You place the counter on your card to signify that you took it. So I'll put it on Sandra's card. And then you draw a card from the supply deck. I was able to get a tire iron. Adds a white dice to melee attack roll. So I got a weapon here. I will put that with her. So when she does melee, she also gets a white die. Okay, so she's done 2 action. He's done 1, but he can't search because there's a zombie touching him. So in the tutorial, that's the only 2 actions I have right now. So then we will move to the event phase. And you'll see right here it says +1 to threat. So we'll add that. Threat's up to 6. We're still in the low threat phase. All quiet and low threat. The walkers suddenly stop and nothing seems to happen. Add 1 to the threat level. So we'll go up to 7 now. When we get to 9, we'll be in medium. So we'll set that aside. So after getting the supplies, we will check for the kill zone. In this kill zone, it has a hole in it. You put the zombie right in the center. So that's close enough. So he's going to run up to her and be able to do that. Now this one isn't going to touch anybody, and that one's already touching. So let's take care of her first. She's going to roll a white and a red. And then for the defense, no, he's going to do an attack. He will 1. Once again, it is a tie. But as we know with ties, he will move back. So we will move him back 1 inch away from him. Now over here we just got a white and a red. So we'll just roll these 2 together for simplicity. And our boy Patrick rolled 1. The walker rolled 2 hits with a exclamation point, which is a headshot. Now the headshot's not an extra hit, but if this was the survivor's last health, then he would not become a walker. So we're going to take one of these, and he got 2 hits on him, so he will take 2 damage. 1, 2, and that will leave Patrick. I'll push these up so you can see him a little better. Hurting a little bit. Okay, so then we check to see if there's any prone walkers. There are not. We check to see if there are any win conditions satisfied. They have not been. And now we're back. So I know that this guy right here will be able to sneak and go right there. These are not touching yet. He's going to stay where he is at because there's nothing else to do. That's just the way the scenario is. This zombie is obviously in the kill zone, so he will move up and attach to him. Now we gotta check this one. Nope, not in the kill zone, so it won't move. But we will do another event card. And the threat goes up. We're on 8, so we're still on low, 1 away. So we're on low. Each player moves 1 eligible walker towards the nearest survivor. So this guy is going to shamble, and that's enough to get him all the way up to him. So we're going to have 2 zombies attacking this time. Sandra needs to move away. Let's see if she can do that, because she has her power that will allow her to move, and she rolled it. So she moves at least 1 inch away from all current. So she will move over on this side. That's enough to get away from him for right now. He's going to have to fight this zombie. So he's going to attack with a white. I could choose defense or attack with a zombie. I'm going to choose attack. So each roll of 1 die. It's a hit. This guy will move back 1 inch. So I'm not really making a whole lot of progress here. We're going to check for win conditions. Nothing is there, but the game is getting harder for me because my threat level is going up. So I'm not making a lot of progress here. On his move, there's no zombies touching him, so he can pick up the counter. But he's going to be blocked because this walker right here is touching the counter, so he can't actually pick it up. This guy right here will be able to pick it up because he's touching it and nobody else is touching him. So Patrick has the second one. Now, we can eyeball this to tell that both of these, well, this guy right here is within striking distance. We can eyeball that. This guy right here is fine. What about this one? Yeah, so this one right here is going to come a little bit closer. I believe that they can move through those. So we need to do an event card. Now we're still in low. We're still at 8. This one didn't move it up. Won't stay down. For each prone, there's none on or add 1 to the threat level. So that put us 9. We just got to the medium level. So this is not going well for us. But the game is progressing. So I'm going to do something a little sneaky here. I'm going to run with him. And I'm going to go all the way down here and create a little noise. Because I do want those walkers to follow him down. And then he's going to shamble down here. So I need to measure this one out. He's going to come all the way down here and not quite touching our guy. Okay, so this guy over here has got these two packed up. So I think just for game purposes, I'm going to leave that person there just to illustrate a couple things to you. It may not be the best strategy, but that's what I'm going to go with. So what are we going to do here? We're going to do an event card, which will raise the threat level again. So we should be on 10, which is medium. Each player rolls a blue die and moves that many eligible walkers towards the nearest survivor. So 2. Well, it's only really this guy that's going to move. Everybody else is connected to them. So, and we won't do any of the kill zones because they're all touching. So, you know what? I'm going to do this guy down here first, just to move things and change it up a little bit. Oh, great! So he did 1 damage to him. And when you do that, you immediately push back the walker 1 step. And because he actually took damage this time, he's going to lay down prone. So for the first time of the game, we do have a prone guy. Now, because there's 2 here, they will roll 3 red dice for the walkers. Versus, where were those right here? Oh, versus a white and a red because Sandra has a weapon. And so she got 3 hits and he got 3 hits, which is a push, as we know. So we'll push this guy back this way. And we'll push this guy back that way. And then we'll move to the end. So now this time we do have a prone. So we're going to roll this black dice to see if he stands up. And he does. And we have still not done the win conditions because we still have 1 supply that is out there. So we'll go back to the front. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to run. No, I think I can actually sneak up here and grab this guy's attention. So I'm making a diversion here on purpose so I can keep this guy's attention here and I can try to let Sandra get this. So thematically, I'm over here making some noise so the walkers kind of come towards me, if you will. So a little bit of strategy here. Let's see how this pays off for me. And I'm going to sneak with Sandra over here to get away from this guy. Alright. And then Sandra, because he's away from him, will be able to pick this one up as her second action. And now I have all of them. At this point, I just need to survive to the end of the round to check the victory conditions. So we will do another event card. Hopefully this won't be too bad. We see the +1 threat. So now we're up to 11. We're still on medium. Each player rolls 2 blue and moves that many eligible walkers in the direction of their choice. Then that many walkers enter play. So let's do Sandra. She will move 4 walkers. So and move that many eligible walkers in the direction of their choice. So let's shamble this guy. And I can move him in the direction of my choice. Let's move it way down here. And I will take this one and move him right down here. And I can move this one, so we're going to start using this over here, way over here. So I moved all of them. I'm going to bring 2 more on the board, which I can add to anywhere on the outer edge of the board. I'm going to move them down here at the bottom, away from me, because that way I will survive the round. So if I do the kill zone, there's nothing within the kill zone. So this card, Pandemonium, ended up helping me. Nobody's prone. I've got all 3 of the win conditions. So I have won the tutorial number 1.